What's poppin', famous? Your man Xavier Brandon on MIC with my mans.
Austin McCall.
And we are Voices in the Streets Unfiltered, the podcast, man. Welcome to another lovely edition. Make sure you tap in with us on all social media, VS Unfiltered Radio, ATL. What else is it? TikTok?
That was it? You said it?
We got VSU on.
It's all the same now.
Okay, anyway. Tap in. Make sure you like, subscribe. My bad. Make sure you like and subscribe. Please make sure you tap in with us everywhere we are. We have some Voice in the Streets alumni with us today, man. We got Chicago's finest, okay? This Morehouse man, okay? Member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Got a billboard in downtown city of Atlanta. Everybody can't do that, man. CEO of Precious Hospice and my line brother. Y'all give it up for Henry Mason in the building. What up, Henry?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Also, we have another Voice in the Streets alumni with us, man. Fort Valley's own, man. Only youngin' out here trying to get to 1 million interviews, okay? Interviewed Andre 3000 out on Campbellton Road, was in the slums, okay? My man is a professional out here, senior correspondent. Y'all give it up for my man Million, y'all. What up, Millie?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Nah, man, chilling. All right, so we got a good pod for y'all today. Last month was Men's Health Month, all right? So there's a lot of things going on in men's health and whatever like that. And Henry, he's kind of like an internet sensation right now. He's blowing up. Numbers are going out the roof. And he's really been talking about a lot of good stuff that's going on. So, Henry, first of all, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are. Tell them about Precious Hospice and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. First off, I appreciate y'all for having me. In short, Precious Hospice was just, it's a program that we started. It's a business that I started 10 years ago. Ideally, my mom was going through her cancer treatments, her chemotherapy and radiation, and that's the first time that I was really introduced to like the hospice program. And she was working for a guy who wasn't an African American, and he ran the business like it was just a money machine, like a cash flow machine. And so they never came and checked on her during her chemotherapy and radiation. And I'm like, well, where do you really work if people can't even come say hello, right? You going in chemo for 8 months, and that's when she explained it to me. And I started listening to her, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, this is wild, because this is the first time I'm actually hearing about healthcare in this space, and they don't have the decency to come check on someone who's actually going through chemotherapy. They're in this for the wrong reason. So I told her, you ain't got to go back over there. We're not doing this no more. She's like, well, I think I could do this hospice thing. And I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. Fresh out of Morehouse, I'm trying to get a cool job. Yeah. Well, not a job, but trying to do something like in tech or something that, is cooler. She's like, nah, we got to do this. And I was like, I ain't doing it. So in my family, when they want you to do something, they call my grandfather. She called him. He called me. He said, you doing it? I said, okay. And next thing you know, I looked back like 6 months to a year later, it just kind of started going and going and going and going. But what made us different was that there wasn't a space for minorities to get this kind of care at home. And they didn't really understand it. So I spent a lot of time educating them on this free service or no out-of-pocket cost service. And we just kind of grew the business from there.
That's crazy. So how many Black-owned hospice companies do you even know of in general?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
Out of all of the nation?
Yeah, I'm going to say about 6. More people reach out to me now because like the social media thing. Mm-hmm. And I always ask them, like, when you tell me you're Black-owned, that means like you're 100% Black-owned or you own 20% or 40%. Because if you own 40%, I ain't talking to you about being Black-owned. I'm going to talk about you being the face of his money.
Right.
You're his supervisor, which is fine, but you can't talk to me about that. So from what I know, I'm sure there's more than 6, but I only know about 6.
So what is it like being like a Black-owned hospice company or being Black in this healthcare space, in the space that you're in? Like, what are the challenges or the nuances that you've had to work with, regardless whether it's people maybe not giving you the time of day, having to fight for every single client you get? Like, what are some of those things that most people probably wouldn't even know?
So originally, we never said anything about who owned it. We just started Precious Hospice and ran with it, and people just were like, oh, this is cool, because it doesn't sound like this Latin name that's like a money machine. So Precious is like something that's comforting to people. I say we did that for about 6 years. Year 7, my mom's adamant. Oh, no, you got to tell people. I ain't doing that. She's like, no, you got to tell people, right? All right, fine, whatever. So I told people, owner, not just marketer, lost half our patients in like a month.
What?
Seriously, they all jumped ship, yeah. Because at the time, we were in Fayetteville, so a lot of our patients were out south, Fayetteville, Peachtree City, and they just weren't ready for a black healthcare company. They're cool with us doing the work, but they don't want you being the one that's actually facilitating the money and making the money. They didn't want that. So for about 2 years, this is year 10, so from year 6 to year 8.5, it was just pure chaos. Like, couldn't get any patients, hospitals were closing the doors on me, stuff like that. And then, I don't know, man, it just started clicking. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why would you all not want me in this industry so bad, right? Like, why is it this difficult for an African-American man to do it? And I started listening and started going back and understanding some of the conversations I was having. And I said, it's because y'all know that if I tell people the truth about the industry, people are gonna be mad. So
do you guys get contracts through the hospital that just bring them to you?
So every hospital has a hospice preferred provider, and no, you ain't getting that.
Like as a black-owned one, or just in general, you're not getting that?
I haven't been offered that. And it's crazy you ask that because for the amount of patients for the amount of people who go in and say they want Precious Hospice and the amount of trouble they have convincing minorities to be on Precious Hospice, it should be a no-brainer. But it's not. They go with companies that, and I talk about this, so it's no big deal. The companies who have contracts have like 1.8 reviews on Google. So how does this even make sense?
Why is it so hard to convince them to go into hospice in general?
African Americans?
Yeah.
So the way it works is there's a 180-day average. So if somebody comes on day one and they live and they die day one, and someone lives day 360, we got to average those people out to 180 days, or we got to pay a portion of the money back for every dollar after 181 days. So what they do is they go to affluent neighborhoods and they tell them about hospice early because they're easy to take care of. They already got their own equipment. They're going to buy their own supplies. They already got their own CNAs. So if we're going to get the same amount of money every day anyway, they would rather go take care of this person versus this person. And they use black people or minorities or people who are impoverished to average out with these people. And when I start telling people that, I'm like, yo, like, if everybody gets 6 months worth of food and you get the whole thing, why are you giving away your 6 months waiting to come on in one day? Because they going to get your 6 months worth of food. And so that's where the conversation is, because we're getting it last day. So only thing you think of hospice is grandma was on there and she passed away in one day.
Because I honestly think of death when I think of hospice, because it's usually like that last step, usually like in my mind. But I didn't know, I just never thought about the difficulties that people are, I didn't think of the disadvantages, I guess. But every time, I guess, there's a chance for mistreatment, we kind of end up on that side of the fence.
It's systemic, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely systemic. But I think a lot of it too, like I'm less likely to blame the industry anymore. I'm more so to say, like, because if I'm giving you the information and you're not doing it, I don't know if I can still say it's the system's fault. I'm telling you, when you go to the hospital, call me. They call me now, we help them. Just 2 weeks ago, because I talk about inpatient units. And when you go to an inpatient unit, that's what black people think about when they think of hospice. They're going to die in 2-3 days, right? So now the African Americans are pushed to inpatient units because they don't want you going back and forth to the hospital. You ain't got to do that. You can go home. 2 weeks ago, people were blowing my phone up this Friday from 2 hospitals in Atlanta. Hey, they're pushing me to scatter beds, which is the same thing as the inpatient unit, only it's in the hospital. And they want my mom to go down there and say she's going to die tomorrow. I say, send me the notes. They send me the notes. We look at them. I give them to my nurse practitioner or my doctor. She can go home. We send them home. They have lived 5 days, 10 days. They tried to do it to my granddad. He lived like 3 weeks. They were trying to push him to an inpatient, which means more than likely he was going to be in and out in 3 days. He was going to be expired. And he lasted 3 weeks. So it's like, we don't have to do that. But we got to be proactive. We got to say, like, no, I want Precious Hospice. I want the minority one. I don't want the 1.5-star company that y'all are forcing on me. Then y'all got to think about it, right? I don't know. Why would they force a 1.5-star company on you? That's a question for everybody to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it would sound like because they got some like back-end contract with these people, and they trying to get their bread. So it's like, yo, we gonna put, even though it's horrible, it's trash of a service, we gonna give it to them because we gonna keep this money in this relationship going. Versus giving it to you, who may have a better quality of service, but you're newer. They don't know nothing about you, and again, you look like us. So maybe. But here's a question for you. Now that you've been speaking out, like, let's talk about this list, right? You did a video the other day where you was like, they're trying to take us off of the list. Can you explain what the list is and what's going on?
Yeah, it's a waste of time. So like, it used to be like you would go to the hospital and they have a hospice list. And so you might take you 6 months to a year to get on the list because you gotta go in and feed the lunches to the case managers. Then they gotta approve you. Then you gotta get on the list. You're like, dang, I finally got on the list. And it don't matter. The hell with that list. It does not matter because they're still gonna feed their preferred providers. So now what has happened is, and I know it's me. This is how I'm gonna tell y'all how I know it's me. When you go to a hospital and they've been feeding one company all these patients, and now they're like, wait a minute. This company's like, I usually get 50 a month. I only got 30 last month. I only got 35 last month. Where are they going? Well, these people are asking for Precious Hospice. What do you want us to do? Not give them to them? And so now we've started our podcast, right? And so we have people that come on and tell us, well, what happened to you at the hospital? I have a lady's story coming out where she's like, I was at this hospital. I was in Atlanta. I told them 4 times I wanted you. And the social worker came back 5 times to try to make me change my mind. Like, it's a crazy thing. So now I don't have to tell the story. I let them tell their stories and they say, I don't think I'm as crazy as y'all want me to seem because this doesn't make any sense anymore.
That's real crazy. And that's unfortunate. It's like they hating.
Well, the system is not really built for us to have an understanding of what's going on, right? If you tell people that you can sign up for hospice 6 months before you pass versus a day before you pass, but we got to give you so much extra work, we got to put out so much extra money for you, that's not really for the company because these are private equity firms now. It ain't no Henrys left, right? These are multi-billion-dollar firms. Like your healthcare insurance companies own the biggest hospices in the city. Like people don't know that. They're owned by insurance companies, right? Or private equity firms. So their ventures or what they're trying to do is profit-driven, and it's a little bit different of a case management type of thing.
Okay, so you as a young man, you own this hospice company. You know, again, talking about men's mental health and health month. Like, what are some things do you think that as we can do? Because we all in our 30s and stuff like that. We don't plan on being on hospice no time soon. Lord willing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are some things that we need to do to keep on point or keep on track to make sure that we gonna be all right? Like, you know what I mean? I know you be running like 5 miles a day and stuff like that.
Nah, not no more, man. I'm fat now. But like, I would say what I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of young men are getting colon cancer. Like a lot. Like I've never seen nothing like this before. Like a lot of young women are getting breast cancer too. But I'm talking about by the time you guys are figuring out that you got it, you might be 35, 45, even 50. They're already at stage 3 because they're not going to the doctor. And something like colon cancer can be a silent killer because you might have abdominal pain, you might have some blood in your stool, you might even have some weight loss, right? But as a black person, you guys aren't going to the doctor. You're not going to get checked up. So by the time you realize that you were already stage 3. And then a lot of times it's really not a lot that we can do for you. So it might be chemo, it might be radiation. And then again, you got a lot of people talking, because you got so many people like get in front of a mic and talking about like, well, you got to go the wellness route. It's like, that might work for somebody in stage 1.
Ginger root. Eating ginger root and shit like that.
Yeah, you can't, but stage 1, you try whatever you want to try. When you stage 3 and stage 4 and you're 40 years old, no. Like, the young lady who passed recently, I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about?
From the one that was pregnant and with the brain clots?
Oh, no, that's a totally different.
Ananda? Oh, you been talking about Ananda Lewis. Okay, yeah, she was a VJ at MTV.
Ananda Lewis's story. I was reading up on the story. I'm like, how did this happen? So she got the diagnosis and she wanted to go the wellness route. The wellness route is fine for people stage 1, right? Maybe stage 2. Once you hit stage 3, it didn't work. So now you got to do something a little more aggressive. And again, we're so afraid of chemo, similar to hospice, because when they put it to us, what's really happening, right? So I understand it, but I'm seeing a lot of men with colon cancer, 40 years old, and they're having that palliative care to hospice conversation. And it's like at 40, bro, like you guys got to go to the doctor. It's a real thing right now.
So like I go to the doctor, I don't know about y'all. I go to the doctor every year around my birthday.
Okay.
Unless I got to be hella sick in order for me to go. Yeah, I go for the physical, whatever like that. They check me out, they like I'm fine, whatever I work out, you know what I'm saying? You know, all that stuff. Do you feel like we need to go to the doctor more often? Or do you just need to make sure, I don't care if it is once a year at a minimum, you need to be getting checked out. Because again, how would you even know like that you got colon cancer or you got something like that? Like unless something physically in your body just don't feel right.
So I think too, people who go to the doctor got to be super transparent with their doctors. And I think sometimes like us, we're like, man, we're tough, we're fine. It's a little stomach pain, but you let that, because this type of stuff can go on for 10 years. And it just doesn't even really manifest where you're like, okay, now I got something really going on. I can't sit straight up. Like my abdominal pain is that bad. So you got to be super transparent with your doctor for them to help you. I say every year is probably, I think that's what most people do every year. Make sure you're getting your blood work done every year too, so you know like where you are with that. I see a lot of issues with that as well. But just when you go, you got to tell them the truth. Like if you have stomach pain and it's been hurting you for 5 years, you need to tell him that, because that might trigger something for him to say, okay, let me get you a referral to a specialist or an oncologist or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So probably last question before we transition to something else. I know you have a lot of insight on some things that they don't want us to know, right? And you said when you came on the podcast, you was like, yo, you better get me now because they about to shut me up. I'm about to, let's air them out right now, okay? What are some of the things that you done heard, Henry, that's like, I can't believe they really trying this right now?
Yeah, it's a couple of things I would say. The Medicaid thing is crazy, right? I'm not sure that people really understand. I'm going to tell you a story of what happened. I'm not going to use no name. I'm going to say Billy Joe. When we have a family, if there's no one at the hospital, like none of our reps are at the hospital, and I'm close, I'll go by there. I went in there and talked to a family. They made it very clear to me that they didn't want me. We don't want to talk to you, right? They didn't want to talk to a black person. So it was fine, whatever. And I had to make it very clear to them that I'm only here because no other hospice company wants you. And so how you're talking to me is I'm here to help you, right? I'm trying to help you get home, and you don't even have insurance. The contracts these hospitals have with these companies, they don't even make them take all the indigent patients. So indigent means you don't have insurance. So a lot of those indigent calls we get because they know I'm purpose-driven. So of course I'm gonna do that, right? I've talked to a family. They made it very clear they were a Trump supporter, but they're like, yeah, well, we don't have Medicaid, so we're just trying to find a company, but not really your company or whatever. That's fine, but nobody else is gonna take you. So she said, well, can you at least help us get Medicaid? I said, given where you are right now, because they've already taken so many staff from that office, you're not gonna get it fast enough. She just kind of like blew me off. She passed in the hospital. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I've been seeing. I would definitely focus on Medicaid. Different things that are coming down the pipeline. That stuff only matters if you all don't understand that you can make your own choices now. Like you got to start using Google, start going out there saying, hey, I see the company you gave me. I don't like their reviews. Let's find somebody else together. So I would say that type of stuff. With the insurance, Medicare Advantage plans, I'm seeing a lot of them are being denied for certain treatments. Nursing homes, you used to get 20 days of rehab. I'm seeing people getting 7 days to 10 days. So you got to start preparing yourself to take care of your parents, because long-term care nursing homes, I'm not sure that's going to be around for much longer.
What's crazy is I'm taking care of my mom right now. Mm-hmm. She live with me.
Okay.
I would not put her in like a nursing home just because, I don't want to go into a nursing home,
Yeah.
And there may get to a point where I might have to, but if they try to kick them out in 7 days, where do they go after that?
So it's two parts of a nursing home. One is the rehab side and one is the long-term care side. Mm-hmm. So rehab is you coming from the hospital, you had surgery, you just need physical therapy every day.
Okay,
so that used to be like 3 weeks, but now it's like 7 to 10 days for most people. Then the long-term care side is where you go in there and live. All nursing homes are not bad. Let me say that. We work with some great nursing homes. I don't want to say which ones we work with because then every hospital is going to go up there and try to take all the business. But we work with some great nursing homes. But you really need to start calling and doing your research and figuring out, is this the one for you? So we did build a website called wetrusthenry.com, and where we are actually giving our own reviews on these companies. So it's I don't care what Google says. I don't care what you say or they say. I'm telling you what we think, and people are going to be able to use that to trust that.
All right, so Healthcare Henry, tell the people how they can follow you, how they can get in contact with you if they want to get business from Precious Hospice, what they got to do?
Yeah, so you just reach out to me at Healthcare Henry on Instagram, wherever. If you want to call us, it's 470-878-5051. If you want to learn how to do your own healthcare business, that's healthcarehenryacademy.com.
I'm 25 years old. What exactly is hospice? I don't know.
Now, that's a good question. So it's different parts of hospice, but in theory, it is all-inclusive care for those who are terminally ill. So let me give you like an example, like an idea, right? So let's say you have a person who has cancer, and they're going back and forth for chemotherapy or radiation, whatever it might be. And at the point where the doctor says this chemotherapy is no longer working, we're going to move you from curative measures to comfort measures. That's when we bring in the hospice concept. And so hospice is a CNA to your home 3 to sometimes 7 days a week, and a nurse to come to your house at least once a week to check on you, a social worker to make sure your mental is good, you and your family, a spiritual care person to make sure you and your family's like headspace is good. Then you get your equipment, your hospital bed, your oxygen machine, your bedside table, everything you need. All of your supplies are sent to your house, and your medication is sent to your house, and it's completely no out-of-pocket cost.
Oh, this is free?
Let's just say no out-of-pocket, because free means nobody pays for it.
Okay.
No out-of-pocket means it's not coming out of your pocket. So you've already paid for it. Like the analogy with the food, right? You got 6 months worth of food and you don't use it, somebody else is going to use it. You've already paid for hospice by going to work. It's coming out of your check every 2 weeks.
Wow.
So by the time you need it, that's when they pull that money out to take care of you. Whether you use it or not, that money's there. So it's either going to go to you or it's going to go to somebody else.
Okay.
Bet, but if you got any comments or thoughts or questions for Henry, make sure you drop a comment. Of course, like, subscribe, share, post. Tell the people, VIS Unfiltered Radio, VIS U, Healthcare Henry on all social media. Tap in. We'll get the questions to Henry, and then Henry will be able to respond to you, man.
Love to.
Bet.
We're back, and we're talking B. Simone, right, Million? You were telling me that she was broke and destitute yesterday.
Yeah, give everybody a breakdown of the situation.
Well, what was she wilding out, girl?
B. Simone is a comedian. She also was on Wild. She also was on Wild and Out.
All right, let's leave with that.
And she had a podcast. She's had a podcast on her own. She was an author of a book that I don't know if it went well. Those are her qualifications.
So shout out to her. Last time I saw her, she had on pants, suit, and booty shorts while she was at a church, bringing people to God. You remember?
Yes.
You were a fan of that, if I recall. You were an advocate of that. Anyway, she was saying, like what? You sent me the clip. It was like a year ago. She was talking about how she couldn't date somebody with like a regular job or a guy that worked like a 9 to 5.
She said she didn't want to date somebody who had a 9 to 5. That
How
she
is
would
that
prefer
different
an
than what I
entrepreneur.
said?
The difference is a preference versus I'm never gonna do it. Like, you might want to date somebody who's in radio. Somebody else might I want to date somebody who's a nurse. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. So it's just about preference versus.
Well, she didn't want a man working at like CVS, I guess, is what she was hinting at. And now I guess she's saying that she's broke, which is relative because she was talking about not shopping at certain stores.
Yeah.
So it's not like she
Bloomingdale.
Yeah,
as opposed to now she has to go to H&M.
Right. H&M like expensive too.
I thought H&M was expensive,
yeah, man.
bro.
Stacey
I
Adams
still
not
thought
in
it
there.
was up there.
I like H. I shop at H&M. I ain't got no
Do
problem
you?
with H&M. Yeah. H&M is.
Talk about that.
You don't shop at H&M?
No, they don't cover. You think how big the clothes in H&M?
Oh, that's right. You're right.
What you
The
getting at, brother?
I'm not getting anything. All I'm saying is that I ain't got no problem with
We
H&M.
can go viral.
But Bloomingdale's is kind of up there with it's like the upgraded version of Macy's to me. You know what I'm saying? We got to ask Bruce Wayne. He would know better than me. But I feel like it's like Bloomingdale's is kind of up there like Nordstrom. No?
No, it's basically like in that like Nordstrom kind of situation.
Yeah,
like if
right.
you go into Lennox, it's gonna be like it's over there in that area.
Yeah.
But all right, I guess the point of it is, it's like what you was asking me.
People online are getting on her because it's like, oh, you're basically what I see it as is like she's somebody that's fallen and she's saying that she's struggling and people are attacking her online because she used to be this person that was saying, like you said, I don't want a 9 to 5, and now people are kind of using that as a get at her, like, oh, maybe if you had a 9 to 5 instead of chasing the social media, you could have been doing X, X, and X instead of doing this. But I think the whole thing is social media, when you're in that platform, when you're in that space, it's okay to have those ups and downs. She's in the public space, so she's down right now, and I feel like it was commendable for her to actually admit to it.
I think if you down, like you can, being down in 2025 is still content. Like people like to see people when they down. They like, and it's usually if you in the industry like entertainment or she doing so many different things in so many different spaces, shit's gonna swing back the other way eventually as long as she keeps like going forward. I think people just like to, if they feel like you like talk down when you like are winning, they want to see you at the bottom, like at least for a short amount of time, whether it makes them feel better or like makes them happy to see somebody like not doing as well, or if it's just like, well, maybe this will. People like when people get humbled for real. Like I don't really understand that shit because I ain't never really seen somebody and been like, yeah, we need to take him down a peg. But people really act like that and shit, like movie villains.
No, that's real life. So it's like, that's real life though.
But at the same time, like when you do shit and it's kind of like you live for virility and you live for these moments. And like I was just talking about, like she was in a fucking church preaching with like her ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to you, and we probably need more of that in churches. But she was, that shit, like it didn't look genuine, I guess. So people weren't really fucking with that. Like it's just when you come up, we talked about it on our radio show, I think.
Yeah, but here's the issue though. To me, I thought the issue.
Did you like her pants in church?
I wasn't paying attention to her pants in church. I was paying attention to the fact that she was actually trying to lead people to Jesus, which was just the purpose and the point. You know what I'm saying? I know you didn't because you probably don't follow her career anyway. No. But I think the issue. I just feel like I'm the type of person that if a person is trying to do good, why am I going to sit there and crap on them because they're human and they make mistakes, you know? And I think, what's up, I'm too loud?
No. Hey, listen, they wouldn't have been as forgiving if it was a man.
So?
Okay, yeah.
So
sure,
Slim brought a good point up. If it was a man.
Are you talking about we wouldn't be as forgiving or the public? Because the public not forgiving.
In general, my point was like, I don't even think a man will be bold enough to even come out and admit to being.
I was down. That's the thing.
Admit to being broke.
I don't think that's true.
And here's the thing: she didn't. Well, I think she did. I was gonna say she didn't say she was broke. She did say. She said like,
she said
I'm
it, but
broke.
she's not broke.
But she's. But
H&M from Bloomingdale's.
Yeah,
you kind of get the metaphor there.
Yeah, but I think the issue that people have was the fact that you crying about going from Bloomingdale's to H&M when there's so many other issues out there that you could be crying over and you could be having a problem with. But you sitting here wanting us to have empathy for you because you can't go shop at Bloomingdale's no more. Now you got to go to H&M as if H&M is such a lesser value or Zara is a lesser value than them. I think that's the issue. But really, I agree with you, Millie. I think that, people have ups and downs in life. Sometimes you up that it ain't even got to be a social media star. You could be a human being and you get fired from your job, you get laid off, and now, I gotta switch some things up. Like, and that's changing your lifestyle is I'm not gonna say traumatic, but it's an experience that is humbling, but it's also an experience where you have to persevere and you gotta overlook. I think people in general who are on the internet are just people who like lack compassion. Like you can't show the good and the bad on the internet. Either you gotta always be good, or you just gotta always be struggling. Like there's no nuance for people.
Or people like to see people come from lesser than, bro. Still, even today, people, if you got a story, it's like when you see somebody, you know what I'm saying, and they post that they lost 200 pounds. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, they got 10,000 more followers. They selling meal plans and shit like that.
Well, that's
a real thing.
That's only if they start out like that.
Yeah, if you
start out your journey online as you're struggling, then I get that. But for you to come into the game, blow up, and then come down, and then try and rise back up, that's what she's doing. And people are completely unforgiving to her. I've seen
like YouTubers. Like I remember I was watching a YouTuber. He gained a bunch of weight like right before COVID, and then they moved to Atlanta. He lost like 200 pounds, and like he tracked his journey. He turned the journey into content because his comments were, "Damn, it looked like you ate another person. Like, damn, you big as hell, boy."
But that's my point though. They're not going to be doing that to somebody that's just starting out big.
And I don't think I'm gonna do something I don't usually do and defend famous people, but I think it's justifiable to like be stressed about like going from shopping at at these exclusive brand name stores and then having to go somewhere where everybody shops just because of the climate and where we live today. I don't, man, like I understand. Listen, bro. Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm
bro.
gonna let you.
Going from being somebody that has all of this exclusivity and all of this access to these different brands, and people are texting you, letting you know when the new Chanel drops, and they sending shit to your house, and now all of a sudden you got to go to American Eagle, or you might run into Austin the X or some shit like that. And people not just worrying about Austin the X. Think about, like you was just talking about, what social media is, bro. People are gonna be watching and recording you, making fun of you for being in these places. So now you being bullied. This isn't just I can run into Walmart and go grab some shit and I'm rich and famous. This is, you've taken a step down in how you live. You remember that actor where they were recording that dude that was working at the grocery store?
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, they killed him for working at Trader Joe's, and people wanted to go viral making fun of him for not like being able to live off his acting royalties.
I think it's the same thing though, because like I thought with her, like I didn't see the whole story like y'all know it, but it's like, I have a huge issue with this, by the way, as an entrepreneur. I don't think it's fair that social media has let women think that you got to go get this person who has this job, or I'm not going to date a guy who has a 9-to-5. Like, it's completely ignorant, and I only really hear that in this type of community. Like
Black community?
You can say it.
Yeah. It's like I'm being honest. Like, I don't hear that. I have a lot of different types of friends. Like, I don't hear this anywhere else. Like, they want the stability of the 9-to-5. They want medical insurance. All of that comes with that. And I think for her and so many other people, it's like, when you tell people, like, I'm only dating this type of guy, like, if I were to use myself, like, you could not date me for real. Mm-hmm. Like, it sounds good. You could not do it. If I'm out of the house at 7 and I don't get home till 10 p.m., it's 5-6 days a week, and you're not going to do that. And so it's like now you got people running around trying to do it. They're depressed. They never like are with the person. It's like you can't do it.
You don't know no hoes from other races is what's going on. Because this is a whole you talking about races. It's not our community. It's the hoes. Like
I don't know.
I'm telling you, white, Indonesian. It doesn't matter what color or where you from. If a woman does not want to work and she wants to have fun and she knows that these athlete niggas, these niggas that get money off scams and shit that don't really value their bread. If you're paying attention, you probably see it. Now the hoes going to the streamers. You see it? They all on the streams. You know why? Because they found out these niggas getting paid and these niggas do not value money. So we going. That's just how this shit works. I'm not gonna, the same way we sitting here talking about how women and shit like that now have kind of shifted to, I'm gonna go to the nigga that's popping on Instagram and has all this and that. Bro, I was just talking to somebody about the male loneliness epidemic or whatever the fuck. I was like, bro, it's not no fucking epidemic. We shouldn't see all these fine hoes. Everybody thinks that they can get the finest. You can't get her, bro. Instagram has done that. That's why people are lonely. It's not fucking.
I might have to agree with him, bro.
It's not a real loneliness epidemic. It's the same thing. Same thing, but we value different things. Niggas for some reason value ass almost more than anything, and women value comfort and fucking fun.
And see, to your point with the 9-to-5, it's like it's not. I think it's just a natural instinct of women to just want a guy that has the most resources.
I can see that.
Because a guy that has a 9-to-5, you're relying on somebody else. It's like if that job was to end, now your ability to provide might dwindle or something like that. Mm-hmm. But when you're somebody that's making your own stuff happen and you're actually successful at it, it's like, oh yeah, he has an abundant source of resources. So of course they're gonna want to be with the guy that is able to provide more. That's just human nature.
Girls will look you dead in your face. I mean, shit, you 25, I'm 29. But a girl look you dead in the face and just be like, I just don't feel taken care of. Like, I know. I wasn't, I didn't know that that's what we was doing. But that's like a real thing. And it's not like, this shit, it's not that fucking, it's not the 70s or the 80s. It's not like I'm looking to get married. Brother X is on the stage, but I wasn't looking to get married at 20 years old or some shit like that. So everybody playing the field, but it's really just, I'm telling you, it's really the climate of social media. Like, it seemed like she just trying to going back to be Simone, it seemed like she was just trying to get ahead of what would eventually come. Like, eventually they're going to see me at Perimeter Mall going into fucking H&M. and people are gonna record and say, "Ain't you the one that said blah 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 blah?" And it's gonna go viral. So let me get ahead of it. Let me announce that I'm going through some things. You know what I'm saying? She said a couple of coded things. You know, it's bearing on my mental and stuff like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep the attackers at bay, but
I don't agree with that. I think it's just ego. I think the problem is her ego is shot now.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
why
And
you
a lot
would
of
say
people,
that.
a lot of people ego. I don't think she was out there trying to get ahead of some news story that could eventually happen. I think she was being honest about where she is. Her ego is shot now. I used to think that I was up here, and now my lifestyle has changed, so now I'm here. And because I'm here, now I'm dealing with the reality of the fact that, everything ain't sunshine and rainbows. Maybe I got to switch back up. You know what I'm saying? People don't like the fact that, and again, this is why I think people were getting at her is because it's like, I know what it's like to not have. I know what it's like to have to turn the stove on to heat up some water because the water is cut off and I got to take a wash. I got to wash up because of that. I know what that's like, I know what it also is to have. So when I have something, I appreciate it. I'm not going to sit there and look at whether I got Nordstrom money or I got H&M money or I got City Trends money. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I'm not going to sit there and demean what it's like to it. But now it's a shot at my ego because my pride is hurt. You feel me? And then I got to worry about the perception of these people that I don't know, what they're going to say to me. That's why it's like, the real talk, also be sending me stuff about what's happening in the comments and stuff like that. And I be like, I don't care. Really, let's talk about it. Niggas is soft nowadays. That's really what it is.
Now you letting them know.
Niggas is soft.
You don't care about them comments.
Like niggas is soft. You know what I mean? It's like you can't stand somebody not liking you. You can't stand somebody having a comment. You're not always going to disagree with me. I'm going to be honest with you. You always not going to take my takes. You're not going to think that I'm handsome. You're not going to think that I know what I'm talking about. You're not going to think that I'm intelligent. You're going to have something to say. I don't care. You know why? Because I don't know you. And I grew up in a world where you had to literally go to school without some internet and you had to face people one-on-one. Mm-hmm. You had to sit there and look somebody in the eye. You had to walk across the room to see if a girl would actually want to go dance with you. And then you had to accept the fact that you're going to get rejected. You're not going to get... There was plenty of bad women in school. You're not going to get every single one of them. You got to deal with that. What I'm saying is now... Niggas is soft and you care so much about what somebody think, probably because you ain't got no mentorship. Ain't nobody ever tell you you are whoever God called you to be, whoever God created you to be. You could be all these other things and it don't matter. But because we care so much about what other people think of us and we live our lives off of perception, now if you're perceived a certain way, now it's gonna crumble.
That's because it's value in how you perceive now. And what you talking about, it wasn't.
It's her job, though. It's literally her job.
I get what you're saying.
And then I just looked it up. There's actually a pretty significant difference from H&M and Bloomingdale. I've never been to Bloomingdale. I've never been to Bloomingdale.
I'm not saying
it's like $100 for a piece of clothing as opposed to I could damn near buy the whole store at H&M.
I understand. I feel you. I'm not.
She's saying
my brand is if you have bro, I get what you're saying about the I guess you shitting on people that meet women on Tinder or whatever is what you're talking about. You don't get it by.
I'm an advocate. That's your lifestyle. I'm not. I'm
an advocate. You know what I'm saying? If you want to use the DoorDash apps, use the DoorDash app, baby.
My point is simply that I think we care too much about perception, and instead of caring about who you are in real life.
So this is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm basically saying to that. There's a lot of value in perception that you don't really care about. And that's why I send you, even the stuff I send you, I mean, we don't get no serious, hateful comments, but the way you are perceived matters because the next time you put a video out or you put something out, those people have a preconceived notion about you. They don't fucking know you, and they're not going to know you. So what you present and what they digest and what they think of you is what you've given them usually.
Agreed.
So you can't throw away what you presented to them because that's your value. That's what they think of you.
It's not my value.
No.
That's
you talking about how you feel about yourself and inner strength and all that bullshit. I'm talking about
bullshit now.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. We talking about we talking about your job. Yeah, that's bullshit.
This is my job.
Hold on.
This is my job, right?
What?
This is part of my job, to sit
we
here.
We are in a position. We're in a position where you still present yourself a certain way. When we have a camera on, you want to seem a certain way. I'm not saying that you don't act like yourself, but you want to be perceived as this man. You're not gonna put someone on film that you wouldn't advocate with, right? Or stand by. So that's what it is. When you get in front of a camera, bro, when you decide that you want to be social media influencer, actor, anything, a musician or something like that, you are opening yourself up to public ridicule. And I don't think you really are, like, I don't think you really giving the credit to like what, bro, if everybody decides, hey, it's time to shit on X, and it turns into, it's not just, hey, Austin texting me talking shit or Million texting me talking shit. It's tens of thousands of people tweeting about me, making fucking comments on my Instagram. Bro, have you ever seen like when a girl like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say she like unattractive. A girl gains weight or some shit like that. Bro, they damn near turn their comments off, bro, if they famous.
I agree. Here's the difference though, right? And maybe it's just the generation that I grew up in.
Okay.
That people talking about me, being rejected, being ridiculed, being looked over, being ostracized is nothing new to me.
Okay.
I grew up. It's like Bane. Like, oh, you think you what did Bane say? You think you're okay because you in the darkness? I lived in the darkness. I was bred in the darkness. Like, you saying anything, the things that I've had to endure in my life, right, are way harder than a person in Istanbul or Atlanta who don't know me, who has never gone through what I've gone through.
Okay.
That builds a certain type of armor around you that I don't care if 10,000, 10 million people don't like me. I got a good 15, 18, 20,
10 million
30.
Wait,
people,
hold on.
10 million people are breaking through that
I don't know what you're talking
Okay.
about. But look though.
All right.
But look though.
All right.
You what you graduated in 06? You graduated high school?
In 06, yep.
You were a part of the first generation of kids that were fucking cyberbullied. People were killing themselves when you were in school.
Not
You
like
just
this.
so happened
Not like this.
it wasn't as prevalent. I'm not saying that it's as big as it is now, or kids were dying at the same rate that they die now. But even in 2006, dog, if there was a fucking chat room or AOL room where girls used to bully the fuck out of each other. Well, even back then when y'all was in high school, and the internet became a tool for that. You have no idea, bro, what it's like for thousands of people to pile on you. You can say that, bro, but bro, like
We don't know them.
Bro, it's not about if you know them. The perception is damn near enough. Hey, bro, we talking about affecting your business.
Okay.
It is a lot.
Like, bro, you can if let's say somebody who not that a competitor sees this podcast, and they don't like all that funny shit he was saying at the beginning, where we gonna save all the black people, and they decide, you know what? Let's say they have a million followers or some shit like that. They say, you know what? We're gonna go bomb this dude reviews. We're gonna go bomb all of the reviews.
They do that now.
Exactly. Now imagine
Yeah.
if it was somebody with enough pull to legitimately flood out any of your actual positive comments.
Yeah.
Would you be sitting there like, well, we don't know them and they don't know me? No, because this shit is real. Even if they're not talking about him specifically. That shit is enough, bro. That shit will ruin your fucking life.
Social media is actually a real
He does
entity.
not believe social media
It's
like
a real
for some
entity,
reason.
bro.
Like,
No,
bro,
no, no,
you
no.
exist.
I'm
She
not
exists
saying-
almost
listen,
completely
listen.
on
And
social
you think
media.
you think you could just turn your phone off and just ignore
That's
it.
your fucking mind.
But when you're living on it, which she is,
Monetizing it.
monetizing it,
I get paid.
she has no choice but to pay attention to what people are saying.
I'm not saying that if your money is getting affected, that's not going to affect you, because clearly her money is getting affected, right? I'm not saying that, you won't feel no type of way, your feelings won't get hurt. Okay, let me not be non-empathetic, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me is cap. Okay, yes.
Proud of you.
People's words do hurt. All I'm saying is, and this is what I mean by the internet is not a real place, right? What I'm saying is that, yes, you can make money off of it. Yes, we see content. Yes, but these tens and thousands of people or whatever like that don't come to me on an everyday basis, or wouldn't come to me on an everyday. In B. Simone's life, she has the ability to control how she moves and how she doesn't move, right? In real life, there are people who really love her and really care about her. In real life, there are people who probably hate on her too and don't like her just because of the perception that she puts out, right? I'm saying that for me, right, I feel like there's a generation of people who don't take pride and don't look at the real stuff, the tangible things that they can sit there and talk about and appreciate. but they care more about what these people who don't know them think about them. And that's damaging to who they are in their ego and their mental health. Which is why we see all the people that if you had a strong enough character where you knew who you were and you knew your identity and you was proud of the work and the stuff that you put out and you recognize that everybody ain't gonna like everything, then you can navigate life a little bit more. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you, like, in having confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. Same time, if everything you put out, if you put out something in the realm of entertainment or to attract like people, fans, whatever, and every single time you do it, people hate that shit, and you just like, you know what? This is my art, and I love it, blah, 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 and you putting it out for sale, you're probably fucking crazy. That's just how I look at it, bro. Like, that shit, like, if you willing to do the same exact thing over and over again, get the same result, not switch up, let's say we talking about an artist and you're not switching up the sound, people hate that shit. It's like if Eminem did like another Rap God song or something like that, and just was unaware that people don't want to listen to that shit.
Some people don't want to listen to it. Some people don't.
Yeah. If you had to do that, it's not really. It just doesn't end up evening out. But I'm not gonna kill her. I'm not gonna kill her for being upset. Like maybe making an announcement about it is a little like corny, but I don't blame her for that.
She didn't never mind.
What?
We arguing semantics now. It don't matter.
Yeah, it's not like I wouldn't say she like made a public announcement with a podium. I'm just saying, like, she basically confirmed that, yo, I'm not where I want to be. She got ahead of it, I think. I just think she got ahead of it because I can see, yo, does that be Simone at H&M? And I don't even, like, even that, it don't sound that bad to me, but I could see why she would feel like that. But, like, why you don't feel like social media, like, because we talk about this sometimes, you seriously don't feel like your perception on social media, when you, like, maybe if you a teacher and you got like 400 followers or something like that and you live a private life, no, your social media footprint isn't really something that you need to consider day to day. But if you somebody that's front facing, that's dealing with brands, or you think you want to deal with brands, or you want to be the face of an organization like you, or like, you know what I'm saying, you're not the face of the Qs, but you represent the Qs when you know what I'm saying, they're gold boots on a fucking table. So when you in what?
It's okay. Just say you want some booze, bro.
I'm
it's
not
okay.
saying. I'm just
say
saying,
you want some booze. It's all right, bro.
You have a mom.
You can say
your mom will want you.
I do want to say though, social media. How do you feel like? Do you think reputation is important?
Yeah, I think in life your reputation.
And if your reputation is damaged, then that could be damaging to you.
Yeah. I
Social media is the new reputation in a sense.
Yeah, so it's a track record.
It's a whole track record.
Like, I can see what you were doing 4 years before I met you.
I feel you. What I'm trying to say is, again, like you said, like, I grew up where Facebook was started, right? You know what I'm saying? There was a whole time period of things. And also in school, there were things, people were bullying people in school. They were making little cyber
putting them in lockers and
pages.
Shit,
They were doing a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in a time pre the internet. Well, no, actually I grew up during the internet. It was like Netgear and whatever. That's not the point. So what I'm saying is my life experiences have prepared me to deal with people. And I've always wanted to maintain a certain reputation, a certain standard of how people perceive me like that. So I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't have a good reputation on the internet or in real life, right? I'm just saying that real life is more important than the internet. That's what I'm saying.
Your reputation is everything, though.
It is. It is real life, though, now. Like, to their point.
It is.
Even, I'll just use my situation, right? Like, maybe 2 months ago, I would have had like 1,200 followers or something. And now once we started creeping over 20,000, 40,000, like, everything changes. Like, you don't even realize it. It's like, I can be at a restaurant, you don't know what they're walking up to the table for. Mm-hmm. Like, you have no clue. And I don't know what they want to say. And I don't know how, I can't have a couple of drinks like I used to because I don't want to say anything crazy and they got a camera in my face. It does change everything.
You can't go out without your socks on and stuff like that. Like, that shit is real. You can't run into the store.
It's a real
bro.
thing, though. It is, bro.
Have you ever heard that saying, protect your reputation at all costs?
Of course. I'm not disagreeing with that saying.
Nigga just said the most common saying. What the fuck?
Does it seem,
is
it coming off
law,
like
though.
I'm disagreeing that your reputation is important? Is that what is coming
It just
across?
don't sound like you
Well, I'm
value
saying
it
social
as much
media
as you
is
should.
that reputation. You can
Yeah.
act like you don't care, but okay,
Yeah,
people
like
actually do care.
People care.
The people in your immediate space will start to care.
that's nasty, but it's true. That's
I
true.
mean, there are people, if I put something out, good or bad, somebody's gonna say something. Someone don't like the way that I introduced a topic, or somebody disagrees with my take on a topic, or somebody doesn't want something I talk about. It's gonna impact me because I put it out there, right? Yes, you decide to get on the internet, you put something out, it's gonna impact you, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, right? What I'm saying is for me personally, I can't tell you what to do with your life. I mean, I could, but it's up to you to choose whether you're gonna listen or not. I weigh the scales. Is there some truth to what is being said? Okay. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. If there's no truth to what is being said, forget it. You never heard that saying?
No, say it again.
Chew up the meat, spit out the bones.
Oh, okay. I thought you said chew up the meat, spit out the balls. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yo, you gotta
I'm
relax.
sorry. I misheard you. I'm sorry.
Anyway, my point is that I understand that, what people put out on the internet, they're gonna perceive you whether or not they know you or not. Cool. My thing is like, what do you do with that? How do you respond to that though? Do you internalize it and make it ruin your whole day? Or
Well,
do you
that's
look
what
at that,
most
or do you
people
look,
do,
or do you
yeah.
look at that and be like, you know what? They
If
ain't
you've
like that.
ascended to this
Okay,
higher
cool.
place, then
You
no,
can,
you're not gonna let it ruin your day. But yes, that is exactly what what a normal person that's
I don't
never
think
dealt
that-
with that is gonna do.
I think that's a
If
person who
everybody
has a
around
weak.
You're
you,
crazy.
if people around you are coming up to you saying, "Hey, I heard you did this. I heard
fucking
this
suck.
happened. You did this."
Do
you're
I know
gonna
you?
be affected. And,
I
and
know
black
you?
man, it's okay to
Hold
say
on.
you will be.
I'm not
affected.
trying to put up I'm not trying to put up no front. I'm just simply trying to say, I'm not trying to say that my feelings have never been hurt by somebody. That's not what I'm saying.
Not even hurt
What
feelings.
I'm saying, or I haven't felt the way. All I'm saying is, based on how your character is, you determine how you're gonna internalize what somebody say to you or not.
Okay,
Right?
let me ask you this.
That's all I'm saying. Like if you have low self-esteem and somebody says something to you that makes your self-esteem even go through hell,
whoa, bro.
like that's gonna make you feel away. But if you have high self-esteem and you got high confidence and you know who you are, what somebody says who doesn't know you, it's not gonna impact you. It all depends on how you built. Everybody ain't built the same. Some people are built weak.
That's cap,
Period.
man.
I'm not
Sorry.
saying that B. Simone is one of these people. I'm saying that some people are built weak and some people are built
Okay,
strong.
I understand
Like,
what you said, but
that's
listen.
all I'm saying.
right, so let me ask you this: we just had a situation. Not a situation, but we did some clips. We put them on TikTok like the other day, right?
Yeah.
Where it was cut. It wasn't cut in a certain way, but it didn't like give the full scope of what you were saying. So people had a misconception. I forget which side is the
Look,
bad.
I'm
not gonna beat around the bush, brother.
Okay.
See, I called you my brother. But listen, like, okay, it was a misrepresentation. You said something that they think you were on the side of
Israel.
They thought you was on the side of Israel. He's not. He was just explaining what had just happened the night before with a bombing or whatever, right? And the comments on the videos, all negative. Like, all negative. Calling them out his name, calling them different racial epithets, you know what I'm saying? Different ways of calling
I
somebody.
didn't see those, but
No,
okay.
not when I say racial, I'm thinking like basically a roundabout way of saying, oh, look at the coon, look at this brother. That's basically what they was trying to get at. Take that, let's say our page had 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, to the point where people around Atlanta might have seen that, and like people that you were like walking up to, people when you go pick up your kids have seen this video, and now they're looking at you a certain way. They're not talking to you. They're ostracizing your kids, shit like that. You're going to be affected by that, bruh. We're not talking about B. Simone, just social media in general. That shit can and will ruin your life, bro. You talking about how you personally feel. If you the only nigga around you that feel like that, nobody cares. If you the only person that's like, well, you know, we don't live on social media, that doesn't change the fact that the other 4 people you around live and exist on social media. Therefore, they can't be as associated with you. Even if they know that that's not what you meant. Bro, people, you see it all the time in the celebrity space where people get away from people even when they know they haven't done anything wrong just because of how the public might react. That's just how people, now normal people do that shit.
But here's a question. Does that not say more about the people that's around them and their character than it does about the actual person?
Yeah, it does, man.
Okay,
When will that come to the surface?
Well, but see, that problem, my thing is that it don't, I mean, it does matter.
It
does
does.
matter, right? Like Obama had to disassociate himself from Jeremiah, right? Because they thought that he was a certain people, or certain people have to say, like, I'm not going to bang with you no more, or whatever, because of that. Cool. You made a choice, though. But that says more about you, the individual, than it does about me. If somebody says something about Austin, and I know Austin, I know Henry, I know Million, right? It's my choice to decide whether or not I'm still going to ride with you publicly or non-publicly, right?
Yeah.
That says more about me and my character than it does about, oh, man, 1 million people said Austin is trash. But I know Austin ain't trash. I know Austin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn
I know
right.
Henry. These other people I don't know. But, I mean, tell me if you agree or disagree. Drop a comment. You know what I mean? Share, like, subscribe. Millie and Henry, we appreciate y'all pulling up on us. Tell people how they can follow y'all one more time. Henry and then Millie.
Healthcare Henry pretty much on everything. If you need whatever type of advice, I'm there for you. If you're in the hospital, you need help with a social worker, you can reach out to me, 404-992-5088.
Yep, and you can follow me at My Name's Million. That's MYNAMES Million, because my name's Million, and I'm trying to get to 1 million interviews. So yeah.
Facts. Austin, tell them how to follow us one more time.
Follow us at VIS Unfiltered ATL on Instagram, VIS Unfiltered on YouTube. Subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like, share, whatever. I think our TikTok is the same, VIS Unfiltered ATL. Go follow us there, and you can follow me at LIK So Stupid. That's Leak So Stupid.
All right. Follow me at I'm Xavier Brandon on all social media, except for on X is Professor X, PROFEZ.
Oh, yeah. Get this. DesiiTeee the podcast. That's on all streaming platforms.
Yeah.
YouTube, Spotify. I think it's on
Yeah,
Spotify.
I think it's on all
like that.
DSPs.
So search DesiiTeee the podcast, Odyssey with a O.
And go listen to the podcast, the audio version. I know some of y'all like to watch the YouTube, but go listen to the audio.
Most of
them
you.
streams up too. Shout out to Danje in the building. Shout out to Slim Brooklyn. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Keep y'all crowns up till we see y'all next time. Later.